The Galactic Council's warning transmission crackled through the void, reaching Earth's orbital defense platform just as Commander Sarah Chen finished her final systems check. The alien voices, translated through quantum communicators, carried the weight of millennia. "Primitive species of Sol 3, the message began, its tone dripping with condescension. "Your electromagnetic projectile weapons violate the cosmic accord of safe technologies. Cease development immediately, or face consequences beyond your comprehension." Chen laughed, a sound that echoed through the command deck of humanity's first military railgun platform. Around her, the crew of engineers and tactical officers shared her sentiment. They had been building toward this moment for decades, humanity's first true weapon capable of interstellar engagement. "Consequences," muttered Dr. James Rodriguez, the lead physicist who had designed the weapons core systems. "They've been saying that for 3 years. Empty threats from species too comfortable in their ivory towers." The railgun itself was a marvel of human engineering, a kilometer-long electromagnetic accelerator that could propel tungsten slugs at 30% the speed of light. It represented humanity's defiant answer to a galaxy that had consistently underestimated them. For 50 years, humanity had been the galactic equivalent of unwanted guests. When first contact occurred, the advanced species of the Galactic Council had dismissed humans as barely sapient and technologically infantile. They offered no aid, no technology transfer, no seat at their governing body. Earth was quarantined, observed like laboratory specimens. But humans had other plans. "All systems green, Commander," reported Lieutenant Torres from the targeting station. "The Arcturus military station is locked in our crosshairs." Chen nodded. The Arcturian species had been particularly vocal about human inferiority. Their military outpost, positioned 47 light-years away, served as a monitoring station to ensure humanity remained contained within their own solar system. It would be the perfect demonstration. "Sir," called Communications Officer Park, "we're receiving another transmission. It's different this time." The new voice that filled the command center was ancient, tired, and carried none of the usual arrogance. This was the Keeper, the oldest known intelligence in the galaxy. "Young humans," the voice whispered across space-time, "you do not understand what you are about to unleash. The cosmic accord exists not to suppress you, but to protect us all. There are things in the dark between stars that electromagnetic signatures of that magnitude will awaken. Please." Chen cut the transmission with a sharp gesture. "Enough stalling tactics. They've had 50 years to treat us as equals. Fire." Dr. Rodriguez hesitated for just a moment before his finger hovered over the activation switch. "Commander, what if they're not bluffing? What if there really is something? Fire the weapon, Doctor." "That's an order." The railgun discharged with a sound that transcended audio, a deep thrumming that resonated through the platform's hull and into the bones of every crew member. The tungsten projectile, no larger than a coffee cup but carrying the kinetic energy of a small nuclear weapon, streaked across space at impossible velocity. For 47 years it would travel through the void, a silent messenger of human defiance. But the universe responded immediately. Within minutes of the railgun's discharge, long-range sensors began detecting anomalies. Stars in distant sectors flickered and dimmed. Deep space monitoring stations went silent. Emergency broadcasts flooded subspace channels in languages both familiar and utterly alien. Chen stared at the tactical display as red alerts cascaded across her screens. "What are we seeing, Torres?" I don't know, ma'am. It's like space itself is reacting. The electromagnetic signature from our shot. It's propagating faster than it should be possible, and something's responding to it." On the main view screen, the starfield began to change. Distant suns, some hundreds of light-years away, were going dark. Not exploding, not collapsing, simply ceasing to emit light, as if something vast and hungry was consuming their radiance. Dr. Rodriguez worked frantically at his console, his face pale with growing realization. "Commander, the quantum resonance patterns. This isn't natural stellar phenomena. There's an intelligence behind this. Multiple intelligences, and they're all converging on sources of electromagnetic disturbance." The Keeper's transmission crackled back to life. Unbidden, "You have awakened the Devourers," the ancient voice said, now thick with what could only be described as cosmic terror. "They have slumbered in the spaces between galaxies for eons, feeding on the light of stars. High-energy electromagnetic pulses. They call them like dinner bells. Chen's defiant expression faltered as she watched entire star systems blink out of existence on her display. The dark zones were expanding, spreading like infection across the galactic arm. "How do we stop them?" she whispered. "You cannot," the Keeper replied. "The Cosmic Accord wasn't created to limit primitive species, it was created by survivors. We are the remnants of civilizations that learned too late that the universe has rules. Some technologies are forbidden not because they are powerful, but because they attract attention from things that should remain sleeping." Lieutenant Torres looked up from her station, her voice barely audible. "Ma'am, we're detecting movement, something big. Multiple contacts, each one larger than our moon, approaching from intergalactic space. Estimated arrival at Sol system, 14 hours. Commander Chen stood in the growing darkness of her command center, watching as humanity's first and final demonstration of interstellar power brought about consequences that no military strategist had ever imagined. The stars themselves were going out, and humanity had rung the dinner bell. In the depths of space, ancient things stirred, drawn by the electromagnetic signature of human defiance. They had been waiting between the galaxies for exactly this moment, for a species arrogant enough to ignore the warnings of those who had survived their hunger before. The Railgun's projectile continued its 47-year journey toward Arcturus, but it would arrive at a destination already consumed by darkness, in a universe where the stars themselves had become extinct. Humanity had wanted to announce their presence to the galaxy. They had succeeded beyond their wildest nightmares.